The worst kind of blame, and the most common, is on one's own biology. This is the great final irony of genetic determinism. The very belief of possessing inferior genes is perhaps our greatest obstacle to success. David Schenck, The Genius in All of Us. Intelligence is definitely not what most of us had imagined. New Scientist editorial. While watching the last Super Bowl with my son, we got to talking about what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. I explained that it's one of the most demanding positions in any team sport. It takes a very special skill set to be able to read defenses, react appropriately to rapidly changing conditions, select a receiver, and deliver accurate passes, all while dodging very large, quick, and violent defensive players. My son asked me if I had ever played quarterback. I explained that I never even played football in school. I jokingly added that I could have ended up playing in the NFL if I had been born with perfect vision, lightning-fast reflexes, and an elite throwing arm. Yeah, apart from those minor factors, I could have made it no problem. The underlying message was that I couldn't have been an NFL quarterback because I was shortchanged at birth. No fault of mine. Only later did it dawn on me that I had played the coward's card of genetic limitations in order to dodge the key fact that I had never even tried to play quarterback at any level anywhere. If I had participated in Pop Warner, middle school, and high school football, attended off-season camps and clinics, obsessed over success, prayed to a Joe Montana shrine in my bedroom, ate my Wheaties, and actually played the position, then maybe I could make some kind of a judgment about my genetic potential to throw spirals under pressure. If I had tried, I might have clawed my way into the NFL. I doubt it, given the odds, but who knows? The genetic potential to be a pro quarterback may be real, and inherited limitations may indeed exist, but we are not capable of identifying them in childhood, except perhaps where severe disabilities are present. Given countless factors that come into play on the road to NFL quarterback stardom, it is impossible to know who could not have made it. We can know with certainty who has the right stuff only after they make it. Far more important than the ability to throw a football well is potential intelligence, and this too is unknowable in the same way. Unfortunately, many people believe strongly in the existence of identifiable limits that fence in human minds. The reality, however, is that while one's current intellectual ability can be measured, intellectual potential cannot. Your brain is not cast in stone in the womb, in the first few years of life, and not even in adulthood. It can change dramatically, based on what it does and what is done to it. Neuroplasticity is a fancy word that refers to the brain's ability to rewire or physically restructure itself throughout life. Much, if not most, of our intellectual destiny is what we make of it and what our environment makes of it. When it comes to intelligence, we are not the passive passengers popular opinion often suggests we are. A most dangerous belief. One of the most destructive myths of all is the one that tells us intelligence is innate and fixed. It has been widely believed for centuries, and still is, that a person is either born smart or not, that education, opportunity, motivation, and hard work can only carry one so far, because most intellectual ability is tightly confined by inherited or genetic restraints. Worse, these limits are believed to be identifiable by a test, a few report cards, or maybe by nothing more than a mere glance at one's physical appearance. Alfred Binet, the French psychologist who developed the intelligence quotient, IQ test in the early 1900s, would surely be one of its most vocal critics today if he were still alive. He created the test specifically for the purpose of identifying children who suffered from severe mental problems or learning disabilities, so that they could receive special attention early on. Binet never intended or imagined that his test, and its descendants such as the SAT and ACT, would be seen as valid ways to measure innate intelligence, and grounds for making sweeping assumptions about the innate intelligence of large groups of people. Yes, these types of tests can measure current ability